بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلية الإمام الكاظم، قسم اللغة الإنكليزية، أقسام الديوانية، تدريسي أستاذ محمد حسين البدري، مادة ELT مرحلة ثانية. Today we are going to talk about the roles that the teachers play inside the classroom, okay, and also the problems that teachers face inside the classroom. So two things we are going to talk about. First, the roles related to creating meaningful interaction. We have here a number of educators encourage language teachers to play the role of needs assessor. So number one, the role of the teachers. Number one, the teachers play which role of needs assessor. What do we mean by needs assessor here? It means including learning about the student's language, learning history, goals, interests, study habits, learning strategies, and language learning styles. They suggest teachers interview students, ask them to complete questionnaires, and observe what they do and say. Okay, so this is number one, the role of needs assessor. Here we have example for this role. For example, you can use what dialogue journals to learn about the students. In order to assess your students, in order to know the level of your students, you can use dialect journals. You can use dialect journals to assess your students, to learn about your students as a feedback. So dialect journals are like informal letters written back and forth between students and the teacher. This is one way of assessing students' level of education or level of learning. Okay, so this is number one. So this we have here explanation for this. What is dialogue journals? The journals entries give students chances to communicate ideas in writing. Okay, you can write your ideas, your opinions. As a result, it is possible to learn what each student is interested in and cares about. Also shows what do you care, what is your interest. Okay, following this way, dialogue journals can be a good way to discover what really bothers students or discuss personal topics, what makes students upset. Okay, discussing personal topics, for example, why a student is not doing his or her homework, or how he or she can overcome excessive anxiety when asked to speak English. So this is number one, the role of needs assessor. Okay. Number two, the teacher can also take on the role of text adapter. Okay, the text adapter. How? For example, here the textbook and the teacher's manual become the teacher's main resource. Like me now, I depend on the book. When teachers depend on the book. Okay, I adapt the book to teach my students. Okay, some teachers should not only depend on book. They should what? They should provide another ways of interaction. They should give, for example, chances to students to interact. The kind of interaction, okay, see here, the students should interact, should communicate between each other. Also, the teacher should bring something which is not related to the book. For example, some movies, songs, readings. Okay, these materials are not related to the book. Here, introducing new activities unrelated, like role plays, games, movies, shows, tell stories, for example, interview, etc. You see, this is the role of text adapter. So the teacher can play the role of text adapter by adapting the text and also following other activities that are not related to the textbook, such as we said, movies, songs, some readings, okay, some new programs, etc. This is number 2. Number 3, also the teacher can play is what? Classroom manager. Another role the teacher can play to promote instruction is what? Classroom manager. Classroom manager. To manage a classroom, we need to be able to what? Yeah, what does it mean? Classroom manager, the teacher, this role. It means that the teacher what? They engineer the amount of classroom talk we do, manipulate our questioning behaviors, okay? Control the way we give instructions, orchestrate group and pair work, keep learners on task, make language comprehensible to students, handle effective variables of classroom life. All these are what? Within classroom manager. The last one, which is what? Sometimes the roles the teachers play are, for one of them is the role of entertainer. Okay, so other roles that the teachers can play is what? The role of entertainer. And from its name, entertainer. And from its what? From entertain. To entertain someone. Okay, entertainment. To enjoy someone. Okay, as if here you, for example, you play this role when, for example, you need to, sometimes you tell some jokes, some fun, to make fun inside the classroom. Okay, teaching through delight. Teaching through delight. So some students are good at getting us to tell stories about ourselves and others, tell jokes, even sing some teachers should sing, okay, but not in Iraq. If in Iraq sing, they will call you crazy. Okay, ESL students can be a great audience, laughing at jokes, attentively listening, and encouraging us to continue. Okay, while some of us will strongly argue that our job is not to entertain, some see it as entertainer because it can lower the student's level of anxiety. Okay, it can reduce, lower the student's level of anxiety and increase the level of comprehension. You see, this is the role of what? Of entertainer. Okay, I put it here in summary, summarize these ideas, or summarize all these 4 roles according to this book, that these 4 important roles the teacher can play. Okay, I want you in this way you can summarize the ideas, and if you want to take more details, you can go back to book and read more details. Number 1, the role of needs assessor to learn about students' learning. Okay, for example, the teacher can use dialogue journals. This is number 1, and we talked about dialogue journals, how to make dialogue journals. Number 2, the role of text adapter, by adapting the textbook and other activities that are unrelated to the book, such as games, movies, songs, etc. Okay. Number 3, the role of classroom manager, by engineering the amount of classroom talk we do, manipulating our questioning behaviors, keeping learners to task, and so on. Okay. And the last one, the role of entertainer, by telling some jokes. Okay, by telling some jokes. Teaching through delight. Bell quoted theory. There is theory which is called Bell quoted theory. Okay, teaching through delight, telling jokes. Why? In order to create relaxed and motivated atmosphere. Okay, you can add by saying what? And for example, lower or reduce the anxiety. Okay, the students in anxiety. Okay, to reduce, for example, the students in anxiety. You see, these are the 4 roles that the teacher can play inside classroom. I hope the idea is clear. We go back to the book. We said at the beginning, we have 2 points that we are going to talk about. Number 1 we talked about, and second one What problems do some ESL teachers face when teaching English as communication among people? What are the problems that English language teachers face? Here we have three problems: the bandwagon problem, the overly anxious problem, the engagement problem. Let's explain number one. The bandwagon problem. One problem of teaching language as interaction between people can occur in ESL classroom when teachers jump on the latest methodological bandwagon. Okay, I will explain it. For the phrase to jump on a bandwagon, what does it mean? What does it mean, bandwagon? What is this a problem? It means to float or swim with the stream. Float or swim with the stream. Or join the parade. Join the parade. Or go with the crowd. Okay? The same meaning. Or follow the suit. Follow the suit. يعني بالعربي احنا نقول ماشي الناس. امشي ويا الناس. شو تسوي؟ سوي انت. هاي problem. Follow, float, or swim with the stream. swim يعني اسبح مع مجرى النهر يعني. أو طوف in Arabic. This is like in idiom مصطلح. Okay? Go with the crowd. Join the parade. Okay? Join the group. Follow the suit. Do as people do. It means do as people do. Okay? How this is a problem? With this in mind, as Mark Clark points out, bandwagons are the latest wet and the trendy, the fashionable, the most up-to-date in the methods, materials, technique. So let's see. So what's important in this paragraph is what? What is bandwagon? What is bandwagon? Bandwagon, it means float or swim with the stream. Okay? هو مو تقرأ كل هذا باراجراف يعني تاخذ لك الجست الزبدة. As Earl Stevick stated some years ago at a TESOL conference, يعني مؤتمر بالتسول, bandwagons provide confidence. Okay, this is important. So what does it provide? Bandwagons, this way of teaching, this method of teaching, what does it provide? What does it provide? It provides confidence. It provides confidence. Okay? Number one. Two, the company of others who believe in the same thing and useful technique. You see? So this way, this method, what provides confidence, the company of others. Company هنا مو تجي معنا شركة. معنى company هنا رفقة, صحبة, friends. The company of others who believe in the same thing and useful technique. Those who are new to teaching often welcome a method of teaching that provide these things. Okay, so those teachers who just come to schools, who just got job at schools. So when they come to schools, they try to follow this method, bandwagon method. Okay. Follow what teachers do. Why? Because this method provides them confidence, company of others, useful technique. But this is what? This is only problematic. This is a problem. It causes a problem. If teachers cannot see beyond the end way of teaching, cannot accept the bandwagon as simply other people's prescription about teaching based on their personal set of belief about the relationship between teaching and learning. Okay, so it may be a problem. Why a problem? For example, if we blindly, without looking, if we close our eyes, okay, if we blindly follow a certain method. For example, I go to school. For example, I go to English teacher and ask him, what is your method in teaching inside the class? What are the ways that you are following inside the class? He or she will tell us the methods. If you blindly follow a certain method because it is said to be the best. راح أقول لك هذا الأستاذ it is the best method, good method. مثلا if blindly follow a certain method because it is said to be the best way to teach, we become impervious. Okay, impervious. We become impervious. It means we become unable to use. Okay, we become unable to use other creative ways. We will not be able to use other creative ways. For example, I believe that I have good skills. For example, I think that I am good. I have learned a lot. I know so many things about teaching English as a second language. So when I go to school, for example, I follow the methods that other teachers follow. Okay? In this way, I will not be able to use my creative ways. Okay? Maybe I have different methods. Maybe my methods, my ways, my techniques of teaching inside the class are better than the teachers. Okay, the other teachers' methods, I mean. Okay, to other creative ways we can interact with students and students with other. You see here, this is the point. This is the problem. Wagon. قلنا احنا bandwagon. When you follow this method, you go or swim with the stream. You follow the suit. So maybe a problem. Maybe you have good creative methods. Maybe your methods are better than the other teachers. As discussed we talked about this point in chapter 2. Teachers can be liberated to make. Okay, this is important that teachers can be liberated. We are free as teachers. We are free to make our own informed teaching decisions. Okay, we can choose our own methods of teaching if we know how to become aware of teaching behaviors, analyze their consequences, and generate new teaching behaviors based on the awareness. Okay, we can make these decisions, informed teaching decisions. Okay, important decisions in teaching. If we are aware of teaching behaviors, if we know the consequences. Okay, if we know how to create new teaching methods. Okay, based on our awareness, our knowing. Reflecting on our teaching through classroom observation, talking with other teachers, and writing about teaching are far more important to teachers than jumping on the latest bandwagon. Okay, we talked about these points. I told you we need to observing. Teachers should observe each other. Observation. Okay, self-observation. Talking with other teachers. Writing about teaching, important to teachers. Okay, than jumping or doing bandwagon. Okay, so while bandwagons provide us with ideas about teaching possibilities, confidence, company, and technique, they may not liberate us to be able to make our own informed teaching decisions. على اختصار. And they could stop us from genuine interaction in classroom. Okay, I hope this is clear. So simply, when the teachers go to schools, new teachers, they try to follow other methods, the other ways that the teacher follow. This is a problem. Why? Maybe you have good methods, good ways of teaching. Maybe your methods are better than other teachers. So you will be unable to use your creative methods. Okay. Number 2, the overly anxious problem of overt means from something apparent on surface. Anxious and anxiety. We have an anxiety problem. how, what does it mean anxiety? It means a state of apprehension, a vague fear. Fear, it means simply it is fear. Okay? It is associated with the feelings of uneasiness, self-doubt, apprehension, worry. Okay, worry. All these are what are related to anxiety. This is the meaning of anxiety. There are some reasons for teachers to think about why students are anxious. Why you as a student, why you are anxious? Why you are worried? All of you are worried. Flowers, أكيد. So why you are worried? Why you are concerned? Why you are doubtful when you speak, when you communicate? So these are very important. So number one, inability to pronounce some sounds and words. So some students, they are not able to produce or to pronounce sounds. They have mispronunciation or do not know the meaning of words. Okay, some students do not know the meaning of words. Okay, or inability to understand and answer. Sometimes some students don't understand the question. So of course, if they don't understand the question, they will not be able to answer the question. Reputation of the language class as a place for failure. Okay, some students, when they come to the class, they have reputation that they will fail. They will fail. So they are anxious. Okay, خوفوهم يقولون ما حترسبون. Those people who tell them that you will fail, they are what you will fail. They themselves are failures. Peer criticism. Okay, they will be criticized. Not knowing or understanding the course goals or requirements. They don't know. Testing, oral testing. Anxious. They are afraid of test. Don't tell us we have a quiz. Don't tell us we have test. They are afraid of test, especially oral test. Written, not oral. Written, not oral. يعني كتابة ولا حكي. Previous unsuccessful language learning attempts. Okay, attempts unsuccessful. Encountering different cultural values. There are cultural values or cultural behaviors. All these are problems. So high levels of anxiety can inhibit students from interacting with teachers and classrooms. Okay, I have observed very clearly high levels of anxiety in many different teaching settings, but here in EFL setting, where students do not have much experience interacting in English, as well as in K-12 ES setting where language learners are expected to speak English in front of native speakers. Okay, هذا التوضيح مو مهم. In fact, anxiety can create so much apprehension that some students cannot function normally. Okay, the same idea, نفس الفكرة. Most of us have experienced such debilitating anxiety. The teacher asks a question in the new language. All can do is sit, heart slightly racing, mouth slightly open, staring at the book, or the teacher, nothing coming to the mind. Okay, this is explanation, not important. Just to show that to show. For example, when the teacher asks a question, for example, when I ask you a question, what do you do? شو يسوي الطلاب من يسألون الأستاذ? They can't. What they can do is sit. Hearts are racing. So this is the heart. Heart slightly racing, beating. Mouth slightly open. They open their mouth. Okay, staring at the book, looking at the book, or the teacher. Sometimes they are hiding themselves behind students' shoulders. Okay. Yes. So how to solve this problem when the students have an anxiety? You can simply in this here In this situation, they are given what? A chance. Give them a chance to use English. Try to use English, no problem. If you make any mistakes, okay, it's okay. We will read this. If students in our classes have high degrees of anxiety that are limiting them, there are things we can do. To reduce this, for example, they don't need criticism on their language performance. Don't criticize them. Don't criticize. Don't punish them. Let them speak even if they make mistakes. Okay? Don't need. This is important. This is important. We show the problem and this is the solution. What is the solution? Don't criticize the students on their language performance. 2. We must show understanding. We must show understanding. When a student expresses an idea, we can use an understanding response by really listening to the students and paraphrasing, okay, back what he or she said. Paraphrasing not only can provide a way for the students to reflect on his or own language in a non-critical way, but also improve understanding. You see here? So what shall we do? We should not criticize the students' performance. We should show understanding. We should paraphrase for them, paraphrasing. Okay? When we constantly and sincerely work at trying to understand students' meaning without expressing verbal or non-verbal judgment of the language use, a positive trusting relationship between the student and teacher can develop. Okay? So as I said here, we should show understanding. We should not criticize. We should not judge students. Therefore, راح يصير لنا بالتالي trusting relationship. There will be trusting relationship between students and teacher, and reduces وتقلل anxiety about being in a language class room. Okay, هذا example هنا Tom farewell. We leave it. أو فترة كذا تحب تقرأ عادي قرأ. آخر واحدة the last one, the engagement problem. The engagement problem. مو مشكلة الخطوبة لا. As previously to engage in interaction, to engage in communication. It means communicate, interact. Promoting interaction in the classroom requires the teacher to step out of the limelight and yield to the students so that they feel free to interact with the teacher and each other. Okay, so this idea, what is the idea of these 3 lines? There should be interaction. The students should interact, should communicate with each other, with the teachers and with the students themselves. Rivers puts it in this way. Never having experience in an interactive classroom, teachers are afraid it will be chaotic and hesitant to try. So teachers, what they feel that it will be chaotic, فوضى يعني, and hesitant to try. Adding to this problem are the students' attitudes. And then the 2 problems here. Okay, never having experience in interactive. Those teachers who don't have experience, ما عندهم خبرة, they are afraid it will be what? Chaotic and hesitant. They are hesitant or hesitate or they are hesitant, or they will be hesitant to try. They don't try. For example, مثلا أنا على نفسي أقول I am hesitant, I don't have experience. Well, maybe the students reactions, I don't know the students reaction. It will be chaotic إذا خليت الطلاب if I give them just to speak, إذا خليتهم يسولفون بيناتهم راح يصير chaotic فوضى. So hesitant the teacher. Number 1. 2, students also what? Attitudes. شنو attitude? What is the attitude? Students' attitude. So students quite often come into our class rooms with little experience. The students have little experience in initiating, in starting. Initiating معناتنا starting and participating in interaction in English. Students come to class, they don't want to speak English, they want to speak Arabic, and they try to to force the teacher to speak Arabic. خلينا نحكيها بالعربي. يعني طلاب يجي يقول الأستاذ اشرح لي بالعربي، وهم يريد لو يشرح بالعربي لو ما يحكي. Okay? This is a problem. هو يقول هنا it's a problem. This is a problem. It is a problem. Students have little experience in initiating. They don't have experience. Why? Students don't have experience in initiating and participating because they don't speak English. They don't use English language. So this is the problem. As such, they will also hesitant to interact and afraid that things will become out of control, frenzied, or embarrassing. Okay? So this is the problem, the engagement problem. Understand the engagement problem? Why we have a problem? Teacher problem, teachers a problem, and students a problem. If the teacher do not have experience, they are hesitant that it would be chaotic. The teachers have little experience in interacting, in communicating with each other. Why? Because they don't use English language when they speak or communicate. To avoid this half engagement problem, how to avoid this problem? How to solve this problem? Then هنا نحن each problem has solution. Then النقاط الثلاثة 3 points. Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. Okay? So how to avoid this problem? It is our responsibility as teachers to provide atmosphere conducive to interaction. Okay? You have to make good atmosphere. As teachers, we need to show emotional maturity. We should show emotional maturity, sensitivity to the student's feeling, and positiveness and commitment that interaction in English is not only appropriate but also expected and necessary for the students if they want to learn to communicate in English. Okay? So we should tell the students that English is important. You have to speak English, so it is important for you. You have to communicate. If you communicate with each other, you will have confidence. You will feel good. Okay? I mean good. Even you will feel good here. You will get confidence. You will get rid of anxiety. You will be able to communicate and use your language in a good way. Rivers said, when a teacher demonstrates such qualities, students lose their fear of embarrassment and are willing to try to express themselves. This is very good point here. نقطة كلش حلوة. هسه أنا وضحت لكم كأستاذ يقول demonstrate such qualities. وضحت لنا هذين ثلاثة. أنتم كستودنتس lose this fear of embarrassment and are willing and you want now to try to express yourself to learn. Okay? So we'll finish with this and I will give you a summary. I also summarize this point because they are important. So here in brief 3 they are some problems the teachers face when teaching English. Number 1, the bandwagon problem. What does it mean? It means going with the crowd. Okay? Following the suit. When teachers following, what does it mean when the teacher follow the same methods of teaching? This way gives teachers confidence, but stop them from making informed teaching decisions. Okay? You can explain more how to solve this problem. Okay? The overly anxious problem, which means that the students fear. Why? Because they are unable to pronounce or know some words or will be criticized, encounter different cultural values and others. So the students, therefore, the students should be given a chance to use English, no judgment, understanding, and paraphrasing. Number 3, the engagement problem, which means that there is lack of interaction. lack يعني يفتقر أكو قلة. There is lack of interaction, communication between teachers, students, and students, teachers. So, teachers should create a suitable atmosphere, good atmosphere, show emotional maturity, sensitivity to students' feeling, and tell them the necessity to learn to communicate in English. Okay? The teacher should tell the students that it is important, you have to communicate in English, you have to speak English, You have to try to do your best to understand in English. To do your best once, twice, 3 times, more than that. Okay, you have to try your best to learn English. Thank you so much, and if you have any question, you can ask. See you next time.